Longhorn Nation, Sooner fans, welcome to episode 203 of the Bevo Podcast, the only podcast exclusively dedicated to covering the greatest rivalry in college football, the University of Oklahoma and the University of Texas. I'm here with my man Kevin Miller. I am John Whitson. Kevin, in what was the ugliest, stupidest, dumbest display of football I have seen in a very long time, with the University of Texas giving Kentucky every opportunity in the world to win that game, somehow, some way. I wouldn't call it a miracle. I would call it a happy accident. The University of Texas manages to slip out of Lexington with a 16-13 win in overtime. Kevin, you won the game, and it's the SEC, and you said you would take it. But my God, you even have to admit, that was one stupid football game.
Oh, it was almost a disaster. One of the most frustrating games, especially in a win, that I've ever seen as a Texas fan. It felt like we were back in the Charlie Strong era, some of the incompetence I saw last night on the field, really from both teams. And I almost found myself feeling bad for the Kentucky players, because when you put a performance like that up against a team like Texas, they deserve to win the football game. And I thought their coaches...
I don't know if that's true, but go ahead.
I thought their coaches screwed it up for them. They screwed it up. I thought they played well enough to beat a Texas team at home. And I thought the coaches screwed it up.
Well, let's just go right. I mean, there's so much to jump into. With as stupid as a game there's so many things. Let's take it to the fourth quarter. At this point, the game is 10-10. Okay, the score is 10-10 in the fourth quarter. If that says anything about how just dumb this game was. Kentucky has to kick it to you guys on a punt. They have to punt it. Niblett, famous now for his return against Oklahoma to seal that game, had already had a 40-yard return earlier in the game to set up a score. He then proceeds to run down the sideline with another 44-yard return to almost by himself put you in field goal range, right? I mean, it was really close.
You're right there, yeah.
The offense didn't have to do much, nor did they, okay? And then poor DeAndre Moore, all he does is catch a swing pass and run out of bounds. And it was just like the bow on the cake or whatever you want to call it, because what a dumb football play, right? And it cost you guys, well, really 40 seconds, 40 seconds
yes,
of football time. You are able to convert the field goal, but you leave an entire minute on the clock. Now, with the level of offensive performance by either team, you're thinking to yourself, well, crap, with a minute, your defense should be able to hold them. They don't.
I didn't think that at all.
You didn't think so?
We've been on the field for 40 minutes.
The time of possession was just, I kept staring at that. It was unbelievable. So whatever. Kentucky manages to go down, get in field goal range, and put the game into overtime. Okay, now we get to overtime. Good run by Kentucky. Gets down like the 4-yard line. First down. Gets down the 4-yard line. You would think Sarkisian was calling plays for Kentucky in the red zone.
Correct.
Those two plays first of all, I think you've got to go for it. You've got to go for it on fourth down, because I really think they score a touchdown there. I don't think Texas has scored a touchdown.
We were completely incapable of scoring a touchdown on the other end. Completely incapable.
However, you cannot call two plays like you called. And then you've got a running back, God bless him. I don't know what he's doing, jumping from the 4-yard line twice.
Who do you think you are? You would think with these coaches. Have you watched Texas play at all? Yeah, you're not Walter Payton.
Yeah,
right. Exactly. Yes, you're not that guy. You would think, these coaches, have y'all watched Texas at all? You don't beat them by running up the middle on the goal line. Ask Clemson in the college football playoff with a chance to tie the game. They did the same thing over and over again and got stuffed. You beat Texas, throwing to the flats, quick game. The quarterback was 31 of 38, and that's all he was doing is throwing quick game stuff.
Well, they
try to run up the middle.
They just beat Texas on a run to the outside. Like they just ran to the outside.
Yeah, it was actually a swing little. Yeah, it was a screen.
Yeah,
quick screen, bubble screen.
But to your point,
to the perimeter.
Right? It was outside. Y'all lost contain on the edge. He gets it for 21 yards, and you're like, but as I'm sitting there, my wife said it best. Texas is going to give Kentucky. This was in overtime. Texas is going to give Kentucky every possible opportunity to win this game.
Correct.
And they're still not going to win it because they're Kentucky. Like it was, I don't know, did you feel that way? Because I'm sitting here thinking Texas is going to win this game, but my God, what an ugly football game.
No, I wasn't sure if they were going to win because, like I said, we kept doing everything we could to let them have it.
So, again, you're just abysmal play calls and then execution. Again, just put your nose down if you're going to go. But even then, I just think it was stupid. Okay, so they hold them. Listen, especially after y'all get a false start?
We got a holding penalty.
That's right.
On first down.
That bounced you back 10 more yards. Now you're
10 yards.
Now you're out of field goal range.
I thought we should have kicked the field goal on first down.
You probably should.
We were so bad offensively yesterday that when they got the turnover on downs, I thought they should have ran the field goal unit out on first down and kicked the field goal and got the heck out of there.
Y'all do end up kicking a field goal. You do end up winning. You improve to 4-2. You're now 2-1 in the 5-2. You're now 2-1 in the SEC. You're fine. Everything's fine. But the alarm bells are ringing in Austin, Texas. Okay, let me just give you a couple stats.
Everything is not fine, FYI.
Let me give you a couple stats. And then you can respond to what you saw and these stats. Because these stats are Jackson Arnold like Oklahoma stats. You know what I mean? It's like this.
Yes.
This reminds me of like the Auburn win last year, where it's like, man, did we really need to win that game? Okay, Arch 12 of 27 for 132 yards. The rushing yards for Texas as a team was 47 yards. You allowed 258 yards passing from Kentucky, which just blows my mind, and 137 yards rushing. I have no idea how the hell y'all won this football game, other than Kentucky's just blatant incompetence. Go ahead. The floor is yours.
Well, like I said, we didn't deserve to win the football game. And again, first and foremost, we come out, big win last week against Oklahoma. Why did we win that game? We were able to win that game because we were able to establish a running game, especially in the second half. So I thought Kentucky is ranked in the 80s in run defense. So surely the game plan will be to continue to establish a running game and give this offensive line some confidence. Oh, no. Apparently, our coaches didn't watch tape on Kentucky, and they didn't realize that Kentucky was ranked in the 80s in run defense. So they came out throwing and throwing and throwing and throwing. At one point in the game, John, Arch had 16 dropbacks, and we had 2 handoffs to running backs. How was that even possible? How was that possible?
And what was the stat in the second half? Was he like 8 incompletions out of 9 attempts or something?
I believe so. Yeah, I think he was like 1. He's like 2 of 9 in the second half throwing the football or something. It was abysmal, John. It was all bad. Every facet of the offense is bad. The offensive line was horrible. Arch Manning was horrible. We couldn't run the ball. The receivers are just a bunch of jags out there. Just guys. There's nobody special. I don't understand how this is possible with the way that we've developed or built our team the entire time that Sark's been there. How they looked at, and we talked about this all year, right? How he looked at this group on offense between the running backs, the offensive line, and the receivers and said, we don't need any game breakers in the transfer portal. They're out there. There were plenty of guys out there who would have loved to come to Texas. We're seeing them spread around the country now. They didn't get any of they got Emmett Mosley, who's talented, but he's the type of player that we already have. He's not much different than DeAndre Moore or Ryan Wingo or Parker Livingston. And I like those guys. We just don't have any game breakers. We had Isaiah Bond last year that ran a 4.3 at the combine. Matthew Golden ran a 4.3 at the combine. The year before that, Xavier Worthy, the fastest player ever at the combine. And then A.D. Mitchell ran a 4.3 at the combine as well. We don't have any game breakers. It's just shocking that this is who we have out there.
First of all, you have nobody that can take the top off the defense.
No.
That's correct. Number two, though, just as somebody who has a team that struggles in the run game, improvement today, we're going to get to Oklahoma, or improvement yesterday. You can't give Trey Wisner ran for 100 yards against Oklahoma, or however many, 99 or something, right?
Yeah.
He had a very good rushing game against Oklahoma, and you give him the ball 12 times?
It's coaching malpractice, John.
Kevin,
it's coaching malpractice.
Your quarterback sucks. Like, at this point, through 7 games, there's no other way to say it, but your quarterback sucks. He's not very good.
He's not good right now. He's not good.
He's just not good. So you've got Trey Wisner. Well, yeah, dude, he's not Bijan, but he's a very good back. Like, he's a good back. And
correct.
It's just like, I'm watching this game and I'm going, in the fourth quarter, I'm thinking to myself, now, why aren't they running the ball? Like,
I texted you this at halftime. I said, we're not even trying to run the ball.
No.
Let's see what I texted you. Yeah. Yeah, I said, McGowan is good. Our offense will continue to cost us games. We aren't even trying to run it. We're not even trying.
It's like, what is Sark trying to do?
You beat one of the best defenses in the country by running the football. And then you play Kentucky. Like, what are they trying to do here? And my thing with Sark, man, look, is he a great I think he's a great head coach. You've heard me say this before.
You're 5-2. You're 5-2 with a crappy
let me get this out. Let me get this out real quick. But here's what Sark is not. And people have said this about him. He's not an elite play caller. And I've been saying this for a couple of years. I thought he was a good play designer. He's not a good play caller. He is not a good game planner. He's not. And what he is not good at developing quarterbacks right now. Quinn never really got better. And Quinn was always solid, right? But he's not. You can't say this right now about him. So I don't know what's going on with him this year. I do think he wears too many hats. We've talked about that. He's just involved in too many aspects of the program. I think he needs to bring in help. He absolutely needs to bring in a play caller. It's not working. It's not working. How much evidence do we need to see?
Yeah, because we talked about it with that huge win against Oklahoma, and it was a big win. That was a good win. Oklahoma, it turns out, it's not that bad. Right after the South Carolina game,
yes. I actually feel better about this seeing y'all play and look very competent against South Carolina. Yeah, we look confident. That's a good word to describe it. Confident. Now we got Ole Miss coming up. We got our own set of issues we're going to talk about. But when we talked about it when we came out of that was, you won the game, but you didn't just like win it going away, right? Yeah, correct. Yeah, we didn't put on some kind of masterful offensive performance.
Yeah, it's not like Sark dialed stuff up. It's more like
we had a game plan that was to win the football game.
And that's fine. But I did not see that same game plan against Kentucky.
No, it's mind-blowing, John. Again, we talked about this, the Florida game. Sark is calling the offense he wants instead of the offense that he has. Oklahoma, he called the offense that he has. Kentucky, we went back to that same kind of Florida-like game plan. And none of it's good. And you can't have average receivers, average running backs as a whole, as much as we like Trey Wisner, a bad offensive line, and bad quarterback play. Like, nothing is helping the other party, right? The offensive line is not helping Arch. The running game is not helping Arch. Arch is not helping the receivers when he's missing the layups. And that's one thing about Quinn, right? Criticize Quinn all you want. Quinn hit the layups. The RPO, he hit them. Guys in the flat, he hit them. His deep passing was not good. It took that part of the offense away. With Arch, we can't. He can hit the deep shots. We can't. He doesn't have time to even throw them with this offensive line.
Quinn Ewers wins this game 24-13.
Correct.
You're left going, oh man, he just still didn't look great, but he did enough to win it, and you're not just disgusted. Like if you're like as an Oklahoma fan or anybody that hates Texas, which there's plenty, you're just watching it. Now, I told you though, if I thought Kentucky roll y'all, I was going to be really mad. This was almost worse. It was like,
yeah.
What did we do?
We got lit up by this team last week. Like, come on.
Like, what is happening? This team is so. Look, I know you're 5-2, but you're a sham of a 5-2 team.
Trust me, we don't as a team, we don't feel good as a fan base. Nobody feels good about this. Again, we'd rather be upset about a win than a loss. We got to go on the road to Mississippi State.
Next week games. Mississippi State.
Okay, Mississippi State, bye week. Vanderbilt at home with Diego Pavia coming into town. Obviously, they're rolling. Yes. And then I believe we go to Georgia after that.
Oh, good Lord.
Correct. Good Lord is right.
I think you beat Mississippi State, probably. I don't think you beat Vandy.
Look, we struggled on the road at Kentucky. That stadium was not that. I mean, it was loud. It's an SEC environment. But we got to deal with those cowbells next week with this offense, with this offensive line.
Yeah.
I don't feel good about that game. And think about, that he is going to actually exploit your weaknesses, unlike Kentucky. And our defense, look,
your
defense is great.
Fine.
The defense is better than fine. You can't look at the stats here.
No.
They weren't doing anything. But again, remember the Arizona State game last year? We were shutting down Cam Scatterboo and their entire offense. Levitt, they're not doing anything. But we can't sustain a drive on offense. We get to halftime, again, 20 minutes to 10 minutes in time of possession. I text you, I circled the time of possession. I said, this is going to be a problem in the second half if we can't get a first down. And sure enough, we get into the fourth quarter. The defense has been on the field for 30 minutes at that point, into the fourth quarter. And, of course, now Scatterboo starts breaking tackles because our defense has been on the field the entire game. This is a problem. Sark's offense is literally costing us games. I thought after the Oklahoma game, okay, the staff figured something out here. We have a blueprint of success, even though it's not pretty. Maybe we can make something happen. Obviously, we were never a national championship team. We learned that after the Ohio State game, but especially after the Florida game. People were saying maybe you can sneak into the playoff, John. We look like we've got at least 2 more losses. At least.
Well, you got Vandy, Georgia, and A&M. And I'm not sure how you beat Arkansas.
Exactly. Teams are going to be able to put up more than.
Look,
if a team gets to 20 points, can we win?
Arkansas is not any good, but offensively, Petrino at least has them scoring.
Yes. And can we score enough? If they score 21 points,
no.
If Arkansas, can we beat them?
No. If Oklahoma
they can score 20, they scored 40 on A&M.
If Oklahoma would have got to 20 points, we would have won. I mean, I'm not saying we would have.
And we knew, and we knew that going in, right? First to 17 wins the game.
Yeah. Oh, it was so bad. All right, we'll come back to it, Kevin. Oklahoma, 26-7 over South Carolina. Completely dominant defensive performance. Even the one touchdown South Carolina had, Kip Lewis was held right up the middle. I think it was either Kip or Kobe McKenzie. He was held right up the middle. Could have been called. Wasn't. That's fine. Whatever. For whatever reason, South Carolina was almost as inept as Kentucky was calling plays on the goal line. And they just kept going for it on fourth down.
I thought they were worse, honestly.
Which to me was just the weirdest thing in the world. They just kept going for it. And I'm like, put some points on the board. The game was relatively close. I mean, it was 14-7 at halftime. It could have been 14-13 if they'd have just kicked some field goals. Like it was very weird. I don't know what Beamer was doing. they kept showing their new Sean Elliott, their new offensive line coach, jumping around like a madman, and all he was doing was just his team was getting destroyed.
They were getting just obliterated.
Grayson Holton was damn near unblockable for the entire first half, and then when he wasn't unblockable, it was our Mason Thomas and everybody else getting in on it. They couldn't run the ball. 54 yards rushing as a team. Sellers only had 124 yards passing. He's hard dude to bring down because he's so big, and he had a couple of runs. Like the game should have probably been closed out about, I don't know, half a quarter earlier, but he just kept picking some stuff up.
He's quite the specimen athletically.
He's so big, but outside of that, Oklahoma dominated the game defensively, which was great. Offensively, look, we ran the ball. And I really appreciate them running the ball and being committed to the run. But what did I say they needed to do? Pick a running back and stick with them. Torrey Blaylock, 19 carries, 101 yards, 5.3 yards a carry, and a touchdown. Dude, they get in a rhythm. It's okay.
Look, if I'm an Oklahoma fan, this, for me, would have been my favorite offensive performance of the whole year. With John Mateer, 18 to 26 for 150 with a touchdown because of the balance. There was no hero ball necessary. You didn't even have to get out of second gear to win this football game. For me, I'm sure that had to feel good after what happened last week, just to see a performance, a legit game plan, a smart game plan.
It was. It was a smart game plan, and it was a commitment to running the ball. And we finally moved some people. Now, look, Dylan Stewart not being on the field makes a ginormous difference. I'm not going to apologize for that.
Of course.
But it did. It made a ginormous difference. However, I thought we ran the ball really well. Blaylock, Xavier Robinson, both average 5.3 yards a carry. I mean, look, say what you want about South Carolina. It's still an SEC team. We were still on the road. Yes. I'm going to take that all day long. Mateer looked better than he did against Texas, a little more in rhythm. To your point, he didn't have any of those hero plays, which the hero plays.
You didn't need them.
No, and those hero plays, now that we're in SEC, and you can look across the conference, which when we go through the conference outside of the Alabama Tennessee game, the scores are all tightening. Everything's tightening. So you can't, those hero plays, while they come with big reward, have really big risk, and you don't really want to see them anymore.
And what I mean, too, let me just clarify. When I say the hero ball by Mateer, what I mean by that is he didn't have to wear a cape in order for you to be successful. Like everything he was doing, like the Michigan game, the Auburn game, that was out of necessity. There was no other way for you to win the game without him doing. And I'm Texas fan, I've seen this. Sam Ellinger was the same way, right? You didn't have to have him do that. And it's better for your football team. He's not taking a bunch of hits. It's just efficient passing. It was just a smooth game plan. Like that's the kind of game you want, right? After a game when you lose, to go on the road and just it never felt like it was in doubt before you got. And real quick, I do want to talk about again Torrey Blaylock, sticking with him. Xavier Robinson looked good too. So it looks like you have found your two. Blaylock's a starter. Robinson is a good change of pace back too with his power. Yeah, where he's breaking tackles up the middle.
Yes.
So that really, I would be excited going forward.
How'd you like your boy Taylor Tatum getting one carry, one random?
I saw him. First of all, I saw him on the sideline. I'm like, okay, so Taylor Tatum is still on the football team. And yeah, I saw him get a carry, got stuff, but hey, at least he's still on the team.
Jay Knott got in for one play. It's still weird to me. Like it's just weird. That we're. You only get to take so many players on the road. So I'm surprised to see Tatum and
you can't travel with two.
Well, I know you can't travel with two. I know you can't travel, but four?
Yeah, I mean, injuries can happen, especially at the running back position. So you got to bring them.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. And then Tate Sandell, real quick, 55-yard field goal with room to spare.
Oh, he's awesome, man. He's great.
That thing it'd have been good from 60, maybe 65. Yeah. I mean,
when he steps on the field, there is no doubt at all. Obviously, the Oklahoma defense just continuing to oppress the defensive line up against that South Carolina offensive line. Grayson Halton, who is just having an incredible season, especially as a pass rusher, continued to impress. R. Mason Thomas, relentless off the edge. Good linebacker play. I thought Kendall Daniels was um, really good for y'all. South Carolina, though, just stepping out of the Bevo Podcast. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead.
And just, as a college football fan, watching both teams, just looking at it from both points of view, South Carolina, they're on life support right now. That is not the kind of effort you want when you're desperate for a win and you're struggling like that. You cannot have that kind of performance. First of all, from a coaching standpoint, you get the big play when they give it to the fullback underneath and you get into the 10. And then from that point, the decision making from the play caller was just abysmal.
So bad.
Third down, you run it inside, get stuffed for a loss, and then you go for it on fourth down from almost a 5.
It was weird, right?
What are you doing? There was no quarterback run in the red zone with the Norris Sellers. No quarterback counter or anything. What are y'all doing? Are y'all trying to win? Are y'all tanking? It was really weird, man.
Talking about trying to win, remember when I texted you early on? When you talk about coaching or playmaking or whatever, Norris Sellers, we think is a really good quarterback. He didn't look it in this game, but he's still a beast and everything. But my God, how many times was he just going to take the L on the sack? When all he had to do was just throw it out of bounds.
Throw it out of bounds. He's 5 yards. Yes, first down. He's rolling out. Y'all are obviously getting penetration instantly against our offensive line. He's rolling out, and he just steps out of bounds. Loss of 5. Now it's 2nd and 15.
Why? All he's going to do is just throw it out of bounds.
You can't, and again, it's kind of like what I said about. Have y'all watched film on this team all year? Have you watched any film on Oklahoma if you're South Carolina? If you get behind the chains, you're done. And again, that's how Texas was able to win, is they got 3 to 4 yards on first down.
At what point is that coaching and development, and at what point is that Sellers just being a bonehead? Because
it's all of the above, right?
He did it
multiple times, at least 3 times, where he stepped out for at least, at a minimum, 3 yards loss.
Because now, what's the rule? He's outside of the pocket, right?
If you're outside of the pocket, all you got to do is throw it past the
line of scrimmage. The line of scrimmage.
That's it.
That's it. It's so weird.
Yeah.
My God.
It was so odd. They didn't look interested in tackling either. Look at the if you go back and look at the Xavier Robinson touchdown, they had a guy on the edge. Yeah, when he's bobbling the snap, they had a guy, and I don't know if he was hurt, but he just kind of stuck his hand out and barely touched Xavier Robinson's shoulder. And I'm thinking, I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. Like, this kid had to be injured already hurt and couldn't make the tackle, because that lack of effort is shocking. So yeah, just a weird game. They're in a weird spot, man. They have no game breakers either offensively.
I was going to ask you a couple notes about the game. Gentry Williams, is he hurt?
He did get hurt. He did go down. I'm not sure how bad it is, but he did go down.
It looked like a hand or something. Let me see if there's any update online real quick.
Yeah, you just don't want to lose. I mean, thankfully though, and you have Guillory, who played so much that you could put him out there, because Eli Bowen, we know what he brings.
Initial tests are clear. BB's hopeful he plays. We'll see.
Okay.
Shoulder.
Definitely gonna need him against Ole Miss coming up.
And then Mike Shula is South Carolina's offensive coordinator.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, he just.
It was bad, man. And again, you're going up against a great defense, so you have to have a legit plan. And they kept running it inside.
Stupid.
Y'all are just getting penetration instantly, and they just kept doing it and kept doing it. It's like y'all aren't moving anybody. Y'all are getting pushed around on both sides of the ball.
And how come they don't have any called quarterback draws or anything?
That's what I don't understand. They let him scramble. Like, this dude, y'all should have had. What did you end up with? 5 sacks?
6 sacks. I think 6 sacks.
You probably should have had 10 if not for him being so strong. You saw play where he stiff-armed R. Mason Thomas?
Yes. Yeah.
Who does that? I'm not even mad at R. Mason Thomas.
No.
How was
North
that
South,
possible, man?
the dude's a stud, but they just
But yeah, it is.
it's like
But
they
again,
don't
they're not a
realize who they have
smart
back there.
team. Kind of like I said with Texas, like, and I really didn't bring this up, but I don't think we're a smart team, which I just can't believe. Just some of the boneheaded things that we were doing there, like the DeAndre Moore is just one thing.
Oh
We're not
yeah.
a smart team. We're not a smart team this year, and it's crazy. And but that South Carolina was very very similar.
All
Like
right.
you guys just seem clueless.
Oklahoma has Ole Miss. We'll talk a little bit about that at the end of the show. We'll talk Ole Miss and Mississippi State at the end of the show. All right. Let's take a look at the week that was. Listen, it was a hell of a week of college football. It was so much fun. I don't even know where to start, so I'm just going to start going down the list. If you hear one you want to talk about, stop me. A&M over Arkansas, 45-42. Look, this is a game that A&M could have lost, and in years past would have lost.
Yes.
This stresses me out that A&M might be okay. And then for Texas, this has got to be concerning that you're going to play both of these teams, and both of these teams can put points on the board.
Yes, and I think we'll hold A&M well below their 40-point a game average. The thing is, though, I don't think we can score enough. Even if we say we hold them to 23 points, you would feel good about that if a team averages 40 a game, you hold them to 23. I just don't think I've seen no reason to believe we can score 23 points against anybody left on our schedule, let alone a defense that has athletes, the kind of athletes that Texas A&M has. And then even with Arkansas, right? Yes, they're going to put up points. Can we get to 20? And yeah, it's very concerning.
Well, every game Arkansas is in is a shootout.
Yes, they've got that offense completely unlocked with Petrino and Charlie.
Whether it's Auburn or whoever they're playing, it's a shootout. And I just don't. You're just not equipped at all, like at all for a shootout.
No, I mean, listen, real quick. This is how many points they've scored in every game this year. Arkansas,
this is Arkansas?
52. Arkansas, yeah, 52, 56, 35, 31. Only 13 against Notre Dame. That's what ended Sam Pittman. 31 against Tennessee, and then 42 against Texas A&M. So they're scoring on just about everybody.
Yeah, it's okay. For Oklahoma fans, Georgia played Ole Miss, our next competitor, 43-35. Classic Georgia. Classic. The team is not dead until they're dead, and they're just not dead yet.
They're so hard to bury, man.
They score 17 unanswered in the fourth quarter. Of note for Oklahoma to think about is Georgia did rush for 221 yards on Ole Miss. Now, Ole Miss put up some points, and that's concerning, I think, for OU, because I'm not sure. While our offense isn't as inept as Texas, I still think we're limited. So it's going to be a lot to see there. But back to this game in particular, Georgia just finds ways to win. It's unbelievable how they just find ways to win games.
Correct. And as a Texas fan, we saw that firsthand in the SEC championship game, right? We knocked Carson Beck out of the game in the first half, and it's Gunnar Stockton comes in. Doesn't really do anything special, but they somehow just find a way to win. They are never dead. They're so hard to bury. Ole Miss scored touchdowns on, what was it, their first 5 possessions of the game? 5 possessions, 5 touchdowns, and they still lost the game. They couldn't stop Georgia. And Gunnar Stockton continues to impress, man.
Yeah.
He just looks legit. He's going to be a problem. And what I like about them is whatever they have to do to win offensively. If they need to air it out and throw it 50 times, they'll do that and win. If they need to run it 40 times, they'll do that. The defense looked horrible. And then in the fourth quarter, they turn it on. They're able to get some stops. They just get the job done. Now I'm looking forward to that trip to Athens here in a few weeks.
What do you think this does for Ole Miss's psyche heading into this is their first loss of the year. It's a tough loss, especially having been up by as many points as they were. What do you think this does to their psyche coming to Oklahoma this weekend?
Well, we'll see if they're desperate, right? And that desperation thing, we've seen it, right? We saw Texas be desperate, or if we saw Florida be desperate against Texas, right? We heard about Napier getting fired. Texas was desperate against Oklahoma. Oklahoma was desperate against South Carolina, right? And the results show. So we'll see how it affects them if they're mentally tough enough to respond aggressively against Oklahoma. Set them to be a good game. Surprised that's at 11 o'clock kickoff, but there's so many good games in the SEC.
There's so
Somebody's
many.
got to take that early slot. So
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
good
Alabama.
that's probably better for Ole Miss, though, by the way,
Yeah,
that
I
it's at
know.
11,
I
not at
know.
9.
I know. Alabama beats Tennessee 37-20 in a battle of the quarterbacks. Ty Simpson threw for 253 yards and 2 touchdowns. Aguilar threw for 268 yards, a touchdown and an interception. Kalen DeBoer is 15-2 in ranked matchups, making that the best record in college football ever against ranked teams.
He's a great coach, man. In this game, though, I don't know if this was on the same time as the Texas game.
I didn't watch a ton because I just kind of kept an eye on the score. And I
Yeah.
saw that Alabama just continued to be up by about 10. So I just didn't ever get over to that game.
Well, it was a huge moment in the game right before halftime. And the score is, I think it's like, was it 16-7 was the score? And Tennessee's in the red zone. They're right
Yep.
there, about to get a touchdown and make it a 2-point game. Dude jumps around, intercepts it, takes it back 100 yards for a touchdown, makes it
I did see that.
23-7 at halftime. I mean, you want to talk about a game-changing play, and it's a type of play that, a Nick Saban team would have made in that situation,
Yeah.
And Kalen DeBoer continues to impress. That Florida State loss just seems so long ago. Bama's absolutely rolling. We talked about this bit of a gauntlet that they had for their schedule, right? At Georgia, home against Vanderbilt, at Missouri, home against Tennessee, 4-0 in those games, all against ranked teams. Now they go to South Carolina, who's on, like we said, it's on life support.
Right.
LSU. Oh, I mean, it's still going to be tough for them, but the toughest part is done.
Yeah.
So really good
Yeah.
for them.
South Carolina and LSU, not the teams we thought they were. Speaking of Vanderbilt, they were favored to beat LSU. They were clearly the better team on Saturday. They won 31-24. I'm not sure if it was even that close. Diego Pavia, 14 of 22 passing for 116 yards, 17 for 86 rushing with 2 touchdowns. First of all, LSU just not very good, I think it's fair to say. They're fine. They're fine.
Correct.
I don't think they're on life support, but at the same time, they're not the preseason LSU that we thought they were. That's number one. And then number two, I think Pavia might be your leader in the clubhouse for the Heisman right now.
I wouldn't have a legit argument against it.
Who else would you put there?
Yeah, I mean, you can put Fernando Mendoza if you want, but it's Indiana, right? Nobody really. I don't know how much people are really paying attention.
What about Jeremiah Love from Notre
Dame?
Awesome.
He's awesome.
He's there, right? He's in New York, right? Season ends today.
I think so. Yeah, with that performance he had last night against SC, for sure. But yeah, Pavia, man, he just gets it done, and like I said, now looking forward to seeing him running around our field in a couple weeks.
Missouri, Auburn, 23-17 in overtime. Surprise, surprise, ends in a sack for Jackson Arnold. Look, Auburn, to their credit, loses close games.
They're in every game.
They're not getting destroyed, but if you can't tell that Jackson Arnold's the thing holding you back, I don't know what else you need to see.
Yeah.
It's just one week after the next.
Usually with Arnold, he holds on to the ball too long. On that sack there, the tackle just got whipped.
He didn't have a lot of,
He had no chance. The tackle just got, right off the jump. It was a 3-step drop, and he got hit.
Missouri, though, not looking like the world beater against them. But Auburn has a way of making the game look ugly.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy playing against Auburn. I don't care if it can be Alabama, Georgia. It's going to be a struggle playing them because they have good players and they have a really good defense too. Just their offense it's rough. The decision making with the play calling with Hugh Freeze is not good either. So the quarterback is not helping him, and he's not helping the quarterback either. So it's rough all around.
Well, we'll see
Missouri Vanderbilt next week, by the way. Next week.
We'll see how desperate Mississippi State is. They lose to Florida 23-21. That's going to be we'll talk about it. That's going to be an interesting matchup. Okay, back to other games outside the SEC. Miami goes down. This is how much I know about college football. Is the day of saying that I think Miami is the best team in the country. Louisville beats them 24-21. Carson Beck, 4 interceptions. Miami just kind of got pushed around.
They did. Yeah.
And Louisville's helmets, and this was at home, by the way. And
This is in Miami.
Louisville's helmets looked awesome.
They did.
I thought their helmets looked so rad. I don't know why that even stood out to me, but it did. And look, you're going to lose games like this. We know this. Miami's not out of the playoff. They're still in it. But it just goes to show there's some chinks in the armor in some of these teams. And
there's still no perfect team, right? Nobody is. We talked about this, but their margin for error. Thankfully for them, the schedule sets up, right? They got Stanford, SMU, Syracuse, NC State, Virginia Tech, and Pitt. They just got to bring it, though.
Yeah.
The thing about college football this year is you can get beat by almost anybody. You have to bring it. You have to play well.
Matt Rule, instead of game planning for Minnesota, must have been discussing with his agent his contract terms for the Penn State job, because on the same Friday night they lost 24-6.
What was that about, man? You can't get smacked by Minnesota if you're in Nebraska. If you're in the top 25, you've earned your way into the top 25 and get smacked.
Listen, I don't go onto the Nebraska message boards. That's not my deal. But I have to be wondering who else has brought up the fact that he's probably talking to Penn State, because this is like what happened to Lincoln Riley when he went to talk to USC, and then we played Baylor the same week.
No, John, he never heard from USC until the night after the game.
That's right. It never happened. You're right. Ohio State, son of a gun. They just look good. 34-0. Starting to figure it out. I don't like it. Indiana.
Hold on, real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
I gotta bring this up, man.
I don't like Ohio State, but go ahead.
It sounds like you love
Ohio State.
Well, I love the way their program plays. I love it. The consistency they get out of their team and they get out of their coaching staff, and I like the fact that their coach, who is an offensive guru, had the self-awareness to say, you know what? I think I need to bring in somebody else to call plays. I can just focus on leading the team. And they haven't looked back. Since they've done that, they've won the national championship, and they look like they're at least on track they're the favorite to win it this year. Julian Sand is who we thought Arch Manning could be.
Yeah.
36 of 40. I don't care who you're playing against. 36 of 42, 393 yards and 4 touchdowns. He's only in his second year. He's a year behind Arch Manning in his development. It's awesome.
You don't put Sand on that Heisman list, do you? Too early,
if he keeps playing like this, too early. But if he keeps playing like this, he's going to be in New York.
He's got some big games
just because they're going to be good,
and he's got some big games to prove it, right?
Correct. Yeah, he beat Texas. They won at Illinois. They've got Penn State next week. Now here's the thing too: the schedule. Here's who they have the rest of the season: Penn State at Purdue, UCLA at home, who actually might be decent. Rutgers at home, and then of course at Michigan.
That's a terrible schedule to end. That's a terrible schedule. You'll agree with that, right?
Oh, of course. Yeah. Well, just Penn State. We didn't see Penn State being unranked and having an interim head coach. We figured this would be a top 5 matchup.
But even with James Franklin coaching, did you think Ohio State was going to lose to Penn State this year?
No, absolutely not.
So
that's not what they do.
I mean, yeah. State in the Big Ten, Indiana continues to look good. Beats Michigan State 38-13. ASU, Sam Levitt comes off the injured list. Go 28-47 for 319 yards and a touchdown to beat Texas Tech 26-22. I guess we're at a point in college football where Texas Tech beating Tech deserves a storm, a field storm or a field rush. I don't know if
this generation of young people, they love rushing the field, and they'll look for any reason to do it.
Well,
and I agree.
It is Texas Tech.
Yeah, it's Texas. Yeah, correct. It's Texas Tech. These kids don't know the history of Texas Tech. They always say, hey, they're ranked number 7, they're undefeated, and we just beat them. They missed Baron Morton today. Will Hammond had been great in his previous performances, especially the Utah game on the road. This one, 22 of 37 for 167 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 INT. They were just behind the entire time. They were just trying to climb back in it. They actually came back and took the lead late, and the defense let them down, letting ASU go down the field to get the game-winning touchdown.
Oregon rolls over Rutgers 56-10. Georgia Tech beats Duke 27-18. You know, Georgia Tech was a dog in this game. We
They
talked
were.
about this,
Uh-huh.
and they handled it. I don't know how real Georgia Tech is. I would
And
love to
they
know
were
if
down. They were down late in the third. You
Georgia
know.
Tech will not have to play Miami unless they meet in a ACC championship game, right?
Yeah, the schedule for Georgia Tech going forward they play let's see, Syracuse at home, at NC State, at Boston College, home against Pitt, and then of course the game against Georgia, which is not a conference game. So, and we know they
Yeah,
play Georgia Tech.
we talked about Notre Dame beating USC 34-24. Jeremiah Love, 24 carries, 228 yards and a touchdown. And then Price with a 100-yard kickoff return, which kind of like took all of this energy out of USC sales.
Yeah, they kind of fought their way back into it, right? And
I don't think SC is a bad football team.
they're
I
not.
think they're
No, they remember they're
like,
taking the lead here. They're up 24-21.
yeah,
Big play from Maeva to Jacoby Lane, and yeah, that gave them the lead. They never looked back.
yeah. And then just a couple odd play calls after a big play. They then tried to do like a flea flicker type pass situation, and it was
Yeah,
just kind of. I don't know why you're beating the team with your straight up offense. Just like run your straight up
yeah, just keep
offense.
right. Yeah,
What
correct,
you have Maeva throwing the ball really well. Why do you want somebody else throwing the ball? Like it
correct.
just I don't know. That's the kind of stuff that Lincoln Riley does. Hey, for this household, the game of the night was BYU Utah 24-21. It was super fun. It was a classic, a classic
Slugfest, man. Holy War.
classic Holy War game. Red jerseys, red jerseys, blue jerseys. Utah had the lead late. BYU comes back. Bear Backmeyer only with 13 of 22 for 166 yards, but just 11 rushes for 64 and a touchdown. He just is one of those BYU quarterbacks you just don't really want to go up against.
No, yeah. It was
We
a game of the slugfest, right? It went back and forth, and give BYU credit for getting that final blow.
we talked about Joe Young mentioning their linebackers. I don't know how good they are. I know that Jack Kelly. Did you see this guy? Did you
I
watch
didn't
any of
see
this
much.
game?
I watched some of it, but I didn't. Not enough to notice the linebacker.
Okay. Number 17, Jack Kelly looks absolutely huge. Like he's got like a mini neck roll. And
Okay, the old
I
school
don't
linebacker.
I don't know if it's the blue jerseys or dude, listen, he looked ginormous. So it is something that I think Joe might have something there. Keep an eye on Jack
He
Kelly,
knows. He knows what he's talking about.
keep an eye on Jack Kelly, the linebacker. Virginia, listen, Washington State might not be as bad as we think. They do lose, but they kept it close 22-20. South Florida beats Florida Atlantic. UAB upsets Memphis. And Cincinnati takes down Oklahoma State. All right. We both had OU covering. Win. We both had Texas covering. Lost. That was pretty
Yeah,
stupid. I think that was pretty
yeah,
dumb
I
on our
know, and
part.
I was reluctant to do it, but I just thought we unlocked something against Oklahoma. I was
We
wrong about
both
that.
we both had Georgia covering. They did. Barely, but they did. You had Bama. I did not. I had BYU. You did not. So we both went 3-2. You go 16. You improved to 16, 23-1. I go one game over 500 for the first time all year, 19, 18-1. So if you're listening to me, folks, you are making uh one game's worth of money. So other than that, not too bad. Kevin, it was a hell of a day in college
It was
football.
a great
And
day.
but I look forward to the Oklahoma Ole Miss matchup, which is going to be a rate. What will that be? What Ole Miss was 4 in the country. Let me look at it.
Yeah,
The
I don't think
AP
it's been released yet.
No,
Yeah,
no, no. It's not out yet. It's not out yet. But let me see if I can find the poll. Let me see. Let me just see if I can find the poll because I just kind of want to get a gauge where.
are you talking about last week's poll?
Oh, yeah. So Ole Miss was 5th.
Yeah,
And they get beat by Georgia. I bet Ole Miss
One
falls
score
to
game.
you think Ole Miss fall? Well, Texas Tech loses too.
Texas Tech lost. Miami lost above them. LSU lost. Tennessee lost at 11.
You think it's 8, 9, or 10?
I think so. Yeah, I think they'll keep them in the top 10, especially with
And
Tech losing
o-
and LSU losing.
Oklahoma maybe holds steady at 14. I don't
I
know
think
that
so. We
anybody
can maybe
falls
go up to
behind.
13, but
LSU could drop behind Oklahoma.
Tennessee will
I
probably
could,
drop a couple spots at 11. LSU as well.
yeah, LSU and Tennessee are the two that I imagine could
Yeah,
drop
2
behind.
losses.
But
Yeah,
I don't know that Tennessee should. Right? I think Tennessee.
yeah.
It is Alabama. But either way, all that to be said, you're looking at like a 9-14 matchup, a 10-14 matchup. It's going to be a heck of a game. Oklahoma's defense is playing as good as anybody in the country.
Yes.
But Ole Miss creates a lot of matchup issues. Their running quarterback was Chambliss. They did put up 35 on Georgia, and they made it look easy in the first 3 quarters.
Y'all are better on defense than Georgia is.
You think so?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Just as a whole, and your defensive line is certainly more disruptive. I think your defense matches up better against their offense than Georgia's defense does. I think y'all's quickness can really mess up the timing of their passing game.
I thought Ole Miss overlooked. I thought Ole Miss overlooked Oklahoma last year, and were not awake to play that football game.
Yeah.
I mean, and we know Lane Kiffin, and we love Lane Kiffin, for who he is in the sport.
Yeah.
You heard what he said about Kirby, who burns more calories during a game. And he's like, well, looking at Kirby, I'm going to say it's me, which is just classic.
Classic
But
Lane, for sure.
He does have a tendency to lay an egg or two throughout the season, where
they do.
It's like he's got ADHD and he just loses his focus.
They were locked in yesterday, but yeah, who knows what they're gonna. Yeah, we'll see what they bring next week.
And
it's a question.
I don't think losing to Georgia 43-35 is laying an egg by any means. So
no, they were locked in yesterday.
Yeah, I wonder what game that's going to be. I hope it's the OU game. We'll see. I think y'all go to Mississippi State. You will probably still be. You were ranked 21st. Maybe you move up, but I don't know.
We shouldn't. I mean, if we drop a spot, I whatever. I'm not concerned about the AP poll, man. I'm just concerned about Jeff Levy's offense. And if they get, because they're going to take shots after shot after shot after shot. Brendan Thompson has become a real player for them.
Okay, let's look at Mississippi State. They let's just take a look here. They lost to ASU. Oh no, they beat ASU. They beat ASU. They beat Southern Miss and they beat ASU. They rolled to Alcorn State, beat Northern Illinois. 7-point loss to Tennessee. A&M handled them. 2-point loss to Florida. So they only have the two. They only have the 2 losses.
They're 4-3.
Where's the other game at? Where am I?
They
missing?
lost Tennessee, A&M, Florida. So they've lost 3 straight. But again, 41-34 against Tennessee, 31-9 against A&M on the road, and then the 23-21 loss at Florida. And here's the thing: I watched some of that game, and Chapin missed several deep shots down the field where they had guys running open for touchdowns, and he just missed them.
Look, I know you're going to try.
I'm concerned, man. I'm concerned.
This is, oh my God. Can you imagine just for a second, right? And we'll only get to say this for the rest of this year, and then the schedule kind of works itself out in a little more appropriate manner. But can you just imagine for a second if this Texas team had to play OU's schedule?
Yeah, man. Would want to play Alabama, that's for sure.
Dude, Alabama, Ole Miss,
Yeah.
Tennessee. Man, I don't know. Vandy obviously looks a lot better than they did when the schedule came out. Georgia, Arkansas, as far as their point production, A&M. Y'all have a chance to lose 4 games. I don't
Yeah,
think
I
you lose.
mean,
I don't think you lose to Mississippi State though.
I'm just saying it's not off the table the way this offense is looking.
So you got Mississippi State, Vandy, Georgia, Mississippi State, Vandy, Georgia, Arkansas, A&M. Is that who's
A&M,
left?
yeah. So still three ranked teams.
Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What do you think your record is over this 5-game stretch?
3-2 right now.
Wins over Mississippi State,
Yeah, I think we beat
Arkansas.
Mississippi State and Arkansas, and then we win 1 out of those 3 based on what I've seen so far.
Look,
It's like,
I think that is incredible. That sounds like a John Whitson optimistic pick. That seems incredibly optimistic for you
3
to
and 2.
pick Vandy, Georgia, and A&M. You think
Yes.
you're going to get a win out of one of those games?
Yeah, I think we can beat Vanderbilt. Come on. I'm not saying we will, but I think we can beat Vanderbilt.
Okay.
Just because of our defense. Just because of our defense. They're not putting up a ton of points. They're a good football team. You know I think they're a good football team. They just don't beat you by scoring a ton of points. I think we can hold them down. I just don't know if we can score enough.
We talked about the old man football game on Thursday. Did you end up watching any of that?
I did.
How good was that? How good was that football game?
It was really good, man. And Joe Flacco was awesome.
He was Joe Cool, wasn't he?
Crazy to say. He was. It's crazy to think that he was that good, but he was.
Well, you know why he was so good, right? Because he's not stupid. And he said,
Yeah.
"Oh, I don't know. I've got Jamar Chase. Maybe I will just throw him the ball as much as I possibly can."
It's always a good way to win. Give the ball to your best player.
Jamar Chase is the best player on the field. Maybe anytime a team suits up, like he's
Yeah,
so
he's that good.
And he did not. I don't think Joe Flacco overthought this. I think he said, "I don't have to be the hero. I'm just going to throw it to this guy." That was so much fun. Aaron Rodgers didn't play a bad game, but
no,
Joe
not
Flacco
at all. Especially the fact that he's 41 years old, still playing in the NFL at quarterback. So, yeah, it was a fun football game to watch. Good for Joe Flacco getting the ball to his guy. I think I've told you this before, but did you know that Jamar Chase, as a recruit, spent almost his entire senior season committed to Kansas?
Really?
Yes.
Where was he from?
Louisiana.
Jamar Chase is from. He must have been. He was trolling somebody.
He was legitimately committed to Kansas.
This is like Colton Bostic committing to Oklahoma. He
was trolling. But I mean, that was only for a little bit. And then he's like,
it was like 5. It was like 5 days. It was like 5 days.
Yeah, it wasn't that long. I'm talking about the majority of his senior year. He was committed to the University of Kansas,
and that was prior to NIL.
Yes,
that was prior to NIL. So it's not like KU had offered him an NIL package or anything.
Exactly. It was the most bizarre thing. Dude, the whole process. I'm like, this kid's gonna flip to LSU, right? Like this kid cannot go to Kansas.
Was it just the thought that he wanted to go somewhere else? Was that just it? You think?
But Kansas?
Yeah.
I'm just maybe there's an assistant coach on the staff that he knew that he had a family relationship with. That happens a lot. Or like Ben Simmons going to LSU, right? But because his godfather was a head coach.
Did he win? Did Jamar Chase win the Blitnikoff? Because he should have.
I believe so.
Let's see what else we got.
How do you have him as he's arguably not even your best receiver on a college team?
Oh, I always thought he was. You had Justin Jefferson.
But I mean, it's a legit discussion. Isn't that crazy? How do you have two guys like that on the same team in college?
They were so good.
And then you had Terrace Marshall, who was a second-round pick at receiver.
And the smartest thing the Bengals ever did was to let Joe Burrow draft him. Just go draft this guy. What are we like? Let's not overthink this.
And he did win the Biletnikoff in 2020.
Okay. Let's see. Your Cowboys host the Commanders. Kevin, any desire for the Commanders to go back to the Redskins, or do you think this topic is old and a retread?
I think it's old and a retread. I don't care.
Okay. I don't know if I care either. I do think Dallas doesn't look as bad as I thought they were going to be this year.
Their defense is abysmal.
It's pretty bad, but Dak
But
looks pretty good.
he's been great. He has been outstanding, and George Pickens has been great too.
But
McSeedy
listen,
Lamb might be back this week too.
the game of the week is Buccaneers Lions. Baker Mayfield, serious case at winning the MVP this year. He
Yes,
looks
legit
so
MVP
good.
standard.
Looks like he might probably have Mike Evans back against the Lions, as well as Emeka Egbuka. Those two dudes are studs, and Baker Mayfield is making hay with both of them when he has Evans. He hasn't had it for the last 3 or 4 games.
Egbuka has been an absolute revelation for them. Not really a shock if you watch him at Ohio State. He's just super reliable, always in the right spot, great hands. And again, we talked about this before, but being voted as a captain as a rookie before you play a game says so much about him and what his teammates think about him. I don't know if I've ever heard of a rookie being voted as a captain before the season starts.
Look, there's a lot to go in this season for the NFL, a lot. But how impressed are you with Baker being a legit MVP candidate through whatever week 7 or whatever they're at?
Yeah, it's so interesting with him, right? Because it started off, it wasn't great. He did win the playoff game with Cleveland, which is a huge deal because Cleveland sucks.
Yeah.
They just always have sucked. But it was really up and down, right? He had that spot where he was in the wilderness, right? Going to the Rams for that short time, went to Carolina, and they both were like, hey, all right, we're good. So for him to find a home in Tampa and to be able to continue to elevate his game to the point to where we're discussing him as one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, it's awesome for him. And I applaud his resilience and sticking with it because it was down for a while. Because think about it, man. When you're the former number 1 pick, you usually aren't floating on 4 teams like that.
Yeah.
That just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So it looked like it was like, okay, well, this guy, and I never thought he was necessarily a bust, right? But it looked like it wasn't going to happen.
Well, first of all, I think we can all agree that the Cleveland Browns are a just total crap organization.
Correct.
When counting on to make a decision, you can count on them to make the wrong decision, and they did it with Baker. It was just you finally get a quarterback that wins you a playoff game, leads you to the playoffs the following year. Like I just don't even understand what we're doing. Carolina, just whatever.
It's Carolina. Carolina's really not much different than the Browns when you think about it.
No,
at least over the last few years.
But then he goes to the Rams. He goes to the Rams and has that just amazing game with the comeback and everything on a week's worth of prep and all the stuff that he did. I knew he was good. And I think the thing with Baker that gets lost, in all of the Baker-ness, right? Whether it's his trash talk or his exuberance or his humor or, moxie, people want to do all this stuff. What gets lost in all of that? He's actually a really good quarterback.
Correct.
Like his numbers are good. His accuracy is good. He typically makes really good decisions. And so you kind of lose that in the Baker conversation because people just want to talk about how tough he is. But I don't know, man. He's always going to be one of my favorite players at OU and clearly one of my favorite player in the NFL right now. And I don't know that it's close.
Well, I think, as a Oklahoma hater, he appears to me to be the most popular player that you guys have ever had. From what I've seen.
I don't think it's close.
I don't think you guys have had a guy that you love like you love that guy. So
I mean, Adrian Peterson was better.
Correct. Yeah. But he's an alien though.
That's but he did. And we loved Adrian Peterson and he drove ratings, we were able to see a ton of Minnesota Vikings games and then the Saints, he moved the needle for this market anyway. But Baker's transcending the Oklahoma market. He's And he's transcending the Tampa market. He's a legit MVP candidate. And I don't know that he would have gotten there. I don't know that I necessarily would have predicted that, but he is a really good quarterback. And
yes,
I don't know.
yeah,
Give
he's
him the
having an
tool.
awesome season. And yeah, I would say he's a front runner, especially the fact that they've had so many wide receiver injuries, right? They were without Evans, Ibuka, Godwin's been hurt. So these guys who most people don't even know were catching passes. He's just getting the job done.
Look, Oklahoma hosts Mississippi. Texas goes to Mississippi State. It's going to be a very interesting preview show on Wednesday or Thursday when we record it, Kevin. So we'll get there. We'll break it all down.
Yeah.
Texas.
Real quick.
Oh, go ahead. Bring something up.
Before I do got to give a couple shout outs to, there's a couple guys who kind of really saved us yesterday. Ryan Niblett on the Texas special teams, 2 massive punt returns, especially the first one that got us just inside the 5. We still got to screw it up. That's the only way we score a touchdown. The only touchdown we scored. Go ahead.
When we talk about stupid play calling, it's stupid game management. Why are you kicking to him? Like you talk about not watching film or not
you watching the game that you're playing currently.
This is the only player on Texas's team that anybody should have any fear of. Kick the ball out of bounds.
Yes.
And maybe you don't do it on the first one, but with 3 minutes to go in the game, kick the ball out of bounds. How stupid is it to even kick the ball to this kid?
Make the offense drive down the field, which they had shown no ability to do so far. Also,
anyway, go ahead. You're right. Niblett played well. You're right. But
Anthony Hill, for just outstanding linebacker play, 12 tackles and a big time, super athletic interception. And of course, Colin Simmons, man, we have been waiting on it all year, and it's happened. 2.5 sacks against Oklahoma last week. How about 3 last night against Kentucky? So that's looking at 5.5 sacks in the last 2 games for Colin Simmons. He is that guy again. So, and we'll need them to be great going forward because I don't know if you're going to get much of anything out of this offense for the rest of the season the way it's looking right now. So they're going to continue to have to play at this elite level in order for us to even have a decent end to the season.
I wasn't going to ask you this, but you brought up the great play, and I agree. Niblett, Anthony Hill Jr., Colin Simmons, those dudes are they're earning their all SEC awards right now for edge, linebacker, and punt returner, and talented football players. In order to support them offensively. Okay, in order to support those 3 players offensively, when do you consider rolling out a different quarterback? Because Arch is not doing it, Kevin. He's not doing it.
Maybe, but nothing's good. Like, you know what I mean? Do you think the backup would do better?
I don't think
when we can't protect.
I don't think the back. Listen. I'm with you, but you talked about it earlier with Quinn. Like Quinn didn't miss bunnies. Like he's still missing bunnies, man. And maybe your offensive line plays a little better if Arch gets the ball out a little quicker and hits those short passes and creates a little rhythm.
Yeah, you could be onto something.
I don't know. I'm not sitting here saying that you threw a new quarterback in and y'all are going to run this table. That's not what I'm getting at. But you've got guys that are giving really, really good performances on one side of the ball. And on the other side of the ball, you're coming up bupkis. And I just wonder, you got a 5-star behind him. What's his name? Remind me?
Oh, KJ Lacey. Really Matthew Caldwell has been the second guy.
Whatever. But I'm just saying, you've got a talented.
I just don't see Sark doing. I know. I hear you. I hear what you're saying. Completely. And I'm not going to tell you it hasn't crossed my mind. I just don't think Sark would do it.
12 of 27. That means he missed.
Well, it was abysmal. It was an absolute disaster. It was horrible. 15, as bad as you can play. The only thing he didn't do was turn it over.
15 incompletions on 27 attempts. And some of those incomplete, it's not like they were deep shots or just hero ball shots.
He's missing wide open guys on slants and crossers. Wide open.
I
And
could watch.
third down, they're bringing the blitz. It's like Sark set it up. Here it is, right here. They're going to blitz here. He knows their tendencies. They're going to blitz here, throw the slant, and boom. Nope, missed it. Jack Andrews wide open for a touchdown, missed it. Ryan Ringo wide open for at least a 30-yard completion, missed it.
I think the question has to be asked. I just think it has to be asked. And look, you're 4. What'd you say? 5-2. You're 5-2.
5-2.
Ranked. Do you pull? I think it's what we talk about all the time, right? With the eye test. I'm just sitting there going, he's throwing balls in the dirt. Yeah, he's under some pressure, and yeah, but man, he's short arm stuff.
Correct.
It is just not very good.
It's rough, man. It's rough, and that's what I hate. That it's all bad. So it's like he's not helping us, and we're not helping him. We can't protect for him. He took so many big hits yesterday. He's getting leveled, and sometimes on 3-step drops, he's getting just depleted. It's like, dude, we can't pick up. And man, maybe you want to talk about a blueprint on blitzing?
Maybe you run the ball and get the guys
maybe try to run
back.
it. Maybe let's attempt to run it with the potential good running back that we have. Yeah, not put it on him. But again, Sark is trying to make something happen that clearly isn't there right now.
On the flip side for Oklahoma, I think Mateer has another week to get right with his thumb.
Mm-hmm.
Everything looked a little better. It's going to have to look a lot better against Ole Miss. This is a game where I think you're going to have to score 30 points. I really think you're going to have to score 30 points.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I think you're. Do we have an early line?
Go ahead and look at that. The one thing is, and I thought once you established the run game, you had South Carolina's defense in knots. They didn't know, they were so off balance, right? So you ended up with wide open receivers and big holes in the running game because they had no idea what's coming. Can you take that and kind of carry that over into the game against Ole Miss? They're not great defensively.
Hey, you want to guess the line? I don't think you'll guess the line.
Is it Ole Miss -1?
How about OU -3.5?
Ooh.
That is shocking.
Listen, man.
I'm glad we stayed on. I almost closed this podcast out. I'm glad we stayed on. I had no idea that was going to be the line.
Wow.
Whoa.
I would feel good about that if I were you.
All right, let me find yours. Where are y'all at?
Texas will be favored at Mississippi State, I'm sure.
What time's your game?
It hasn't been announced yet.
Oh, here it is.
It's a flex one.
I got it. You want it? They're showing 11 a.m.
Oh, okay. Maybe they just they must have just announced it. It wasn't scheduled as of last night. I'll say Texas -3.5.
6.5.
6.5. Okay. Yeah.
I'll tell you right now, if that line stays anywhere around there, I am not picking Texas to cover.
I told you I'm not.
I'm not going to.
I don't feel good about
it.
I told you I told you I didn't have a good feeling about this Kentucky game. If you go watch our preview, as soon as we started talking about this game, I told you I got a weird feeling about it. I don't know if we're going to show up.
You did not.
And we did not, especially offensively. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But I don't feel good about this offense at all. There's nothing to feel good about.
Well, I hope you lay an egg. I hope you lay an egg in Starkville. I don't think you will, but I hope you do. Kevin, enjoy the NFL. Take a nice deep breath from your pathetic, disgusting performance that still resulted in a win. There's worse things that could have happened. Enjoy the early part of this week, and then we'll preview the 2 Mississippi schools for both teams. Have a great week. Boomer!
Welcome.